5:50 a.m. Your alarm goes off before the school does. You set it that way on purpose. You haven't had to in 3 years. You get up anyway. Coffee. Scrubs. You drive to St. Vincent's in the dark. The way you have for 19 years. In your bag, your phone is carrying a number. A number that quietly did something last spring your paycheck never could. 47 years old, standing at a nurse's station, completely free to leave this floor whenever you want. You don't. Nobody on this unit knows. Your mother doesn't know. Your daughter thinks she knows and doesn't. Not really. 19 years. Every double shift. Every Christmas you volunteered for, so someone with kids could have it off. All of it. So one day you could stand here and not need to. Tomorrow morning, you're clocking in again anyway. So what exactly did all that money buy? It started with $25. $25 a week. You almost didn't do it. 19 years earlier. You're 28. Knoxville. July. A break room that smells like burnt coffee and hospital soap. Your mother is folding towels at the table across from you. She cleans houses 3 days a week. Has since before you can remember. Her knees don't bend the way they used to. She works around it. You're not trying to start anything. You're just filling silence between patients. When are you going to stop cleaning houses, Mom? She doesn't look up. Someone's got to pay the light bill, baby. That's it. No lesson, no speech. You flex your own hands without thinking. They're fine. You're 28. Nothing hurts yet. 4 hours later, you're in a Kroger doing math before you reach the register. You don't need to check your account. You already know it. $612. $19.40 an hour. 2 kids at home some weekends when your sister needs a break, rent, the Corolla payment, a credit card you don't talk about. By the time the check lands, it's already gone. The total flashes. You're $6 over. You quietly put the good coffee back. Nobody notices. You hope nobody ever does. Saturday. Your daughter's at your mother's. You're alone with a laptop you barely use for anything but Facebook. You search one thing. How do regular people actually retire? You tell yourself 10 minutes. It becomes an hour. The answer isn't exciting. Put a little away. Don't touch it. Give it time. You open an account. Your thumb hovers over one number. $25 a week. Your brain starts arguing immediately. What if the car breaks? What if Maya needs braces? Every reason sounds responsible. That's what makes them dangerous. You press confirm. $612 becomes $587. Nothing happens. No sound, no congratulations. Just a smaller number, where a slightly bigger one used to be. Monday, back on the floor by 6. You didn't do it to get rich. You did it because for the first time you could see exactly where the paycheck-to-paycheck line actually ended. And it wasn't never. 3 years in, it says $4,900. $3,900 of that is yours. $25 at a time. Out of checks you needed every dollar of. Your thumb finds the cancel transfer button more than once. You don't press it. Not because you believe in it yet. Because canceling means admitting you were foolish for trying. And pride, it turns out, holds better than conviction does. A Tuesday between patients. A line in the app you've never seen. Dividend received. $14. You look at it too long. $14 won't cover gas. But you were charting vitals when it happened. You didn't work a 12 for it. It just arrived while you were doing something else entirely. That's the first dollar in your adult life that didn't cost you a piece of your body to earn. You make a deal with yourself. At $10,000, you'll tell your mother. Not to brag. Just so she knows there's a door somewhere. It crosses $10,000 in April. You're standing in her kitchen. She's got flour on her hands, making biscuits the way she has every Sunday since before you were born. You open your mouth. Hand me the buttermilk, Mom. You hand her the buttermilk. You don't say it. It doesn't feel real enough yet to survive being said out loud. It drops. 11 days. Down $6,200. That's 4 months of rent. You're at the nurse's station with your thumb over the sell button. It's right there. One tap and it stops hurting to look at. You don't tap it. Not because you're brave. Because 8 years can't be for nothing. The transfer runs Friday anyway. It doesn't read the news. It doesn't ask how your week went. It just buys. Your mother finally stops cleaning houses. Her knees decide for her. Not a plan. Just her body handing in its own notice. There's no party. She just doesn't go back one Monday. You drive her home from her last house. $71,000 in an account she's never heard of. It's right there in your mouth. She's talking about a woman's kitchen she used to clean. How the woman never once offered her water in 6 years. You laugh at the wrong moment, because you're thinking about the number instead. She doesn't notice. You'll tell her at $100,000, $210,000. Sunday dinner, her kitchen, biscuits on the counter for a woman who doesn't clean houses anymore. Her hands still ache in the mornings. She works around it anyway, kneading dough like there's nothing wrong. You have $210,000. You say nothing. It's too big to fit into a Sunday. A spreadsheet on your own kitchen table at midnight. 2 columns. What the hospital pays you. What the account pays you. The gap is closing faster than you expected. You look at both columns and think, seriously, for the first time, about actually telling her. 19 years. Your mother is 71. You just haven't run out of Sundays yet. An ordinary Thursday. 3 admissions. A lunch you eat standing up. 11 at night. Kitchen table. Checking what you owe on the water heater. The spreadsheet opens where it always opens. What the hospital paid this year. $68,000. What the account paid this year. $74,300. You read it once. You click into the cell to check the formula. You retype it by hand, the way someone does when they don't fully trust a screen. Same number. You sit back. Nothing happens. No sound. 19 years ago you pressed confirm on $25 and felt nothing either. You just did it again, at a completely different scale, and it still felt like nothing. You get up, open the fridge, stand there in the light, not hungry, not sure what else to do with your hands. You say it out loud to an empty kitchen. Mom. That's all that comes out. Sunday, you practice the sentence in the car on the way over. Mom, I need to tell you something. 20 minutes of rehearsal. You still don't have it by the driveway. She's on the porch, hemming a dress for a neighbor's granddaughter for free, needle moving fast even though her knuckles are swollen. You ask what she's doing that for. She says the girl's mother can't afford the alterations shop. You almost laugh. Some things a body just keeps doing, whether or not it needs to anymore. At dinner, she's telling a story about a woman from her old cleaning route, laughing before she even gets to the ending. She always does that. You never get the sentence out. It's not fear. It's that the sentence you rehearsed, Mom, there's a way out, is wrong. She was never in the version of trapped you were picturing. Your mother catches you in the hallway on your way out, with a container of greens wrapped in foil. She holds it against your chest until you take it. You look tired, baby. You tell her work's been long. That's not a lie. It's not the whole truth either. Monday, 5:50. The alarm goes off. You turn it off before it wakes the house. You called off last night. First time in 19 years. The charge nurse asked if you were sick. You said no. There was a pause on the line. You said you'd explain later. $900,000, give or take, and an entire day with nothing on it. You get in the car. There's a diner on Kingston Pike you've driven past for 19 years and never once gone inside. You go in. Eggs, coffee, $9. You eat in 11 minutes, out of habit, even with nowhere to be. It's 7:40. The day is still there, all of it, unclaimed. You made a list once, at 28, in your head. It had one line on it. Stop being $6 over at the register. You never wrote a second line. You didn't think you'd get that far. Noon, your kitchen. You open the fridge, not hungry. Standing in the light, with the door open, same as always. Your mother's greens are still in there, still in the foil. You eat them cold, standing over the counter. Noon on a Tuesday, $900,000, and you still don't know what to do with your own hands. Wednesday, you're back on the floor by 6. A new nurse on orientation asks if you were out sick. You say, 19 years to buy one day, and I gave it back by noon. October, your mother calls at 7 in the morning. Her sink's backed up, water on the kitchen floor. You're there in 15 minutes. She's already got a bucket down and a wrench in her swollen hands, working the trap herself. Mom, let me call someone, you say. Let me pay for it. A real plumber. Today. She doesn't look up. You've got your own bills, baby. That's the whole thing, she says. She still thinks you're 28 and $6 over at the register. She's not wrong to think it. You never gave her a reason to think anything else. You watch her fingers slip on the wrench. Slip again. She holds it out to you without a word. First time in your life she's ever done that. You take it. You seat it. It turns. Where do you think you learned that? She says, almost smiling. And the leak stops. She stands there listening to the pipe run clean, arms crossed, satisfied. Not because it's fixed by a professional, but because it's fixed. You wonder, driving home, if the thing your mother spent her whole life building was never the paycheck from those houses. It was the woman who came home from them anyway, every single day, and did the next thing that needed doing. Sunday. You finally get the sentence out somewhere near the end of dinner. No rehearsal left in you. Mom, I've got money. She waits, hands still. $900,000. Started when I was 28. $25 a week. The kitchen stays quiet for a second. A car passes outside. She asks one question. Are you all right? Not how much. Not how. Just, are you all right? Yes, Mom. I'm fine. She nods. The way she nods at things that are simply true. What are you going to do with it? You don't have an answer. 19 years, and the only question that ever actually mattered is the one you never once asked yourself. I don't know. You tell her. She nods again, like that's a perfectly reasonable place to be. She gets up, starts clearing plates, and says, over her shoulder, almost too quiet to catch, I always knew you'd be all right. She never says she's proud. She doesn't have to. She's been saying it to a neighbor's granddaughter with a free hem job for years. Monday, 5:50. The alarm goes off. You climb out of bed anyway. There's foil in the drawer you don't remember saving. You wrap a sandwich in it out of habit, the way she taught you before you could reach the counter. St. Vincent's. 6 a.m. The sun's still down. The new nurse on orientation is 24. When are you going to quit? She asks, half joking. You don't look up. You get used to it. You tell her. She looks at her own hands. They're fine. Nothing hurts yet. She thinks she just heard a warning. Maybe one day she'll understand it wasn't one. $900,000 bought exactly one thing. It didn't buy a different life. It bought the difference between needing to show up tomorrow and choosing to. Your mother figured that part out decades before you did. With a needle and thread and a stranger's dress she was never going to be paid for. It just took you 19 years and $25 a week to catch up to something she already knew.